Welcome back to Czech Republic, Pilsen, to the Para-Archery Championship, European Championship. We are heading for the individual finals. My name is Victor Safat.
And I'm John Kavanagh.
We're going to tell you something about the archers and about what's going on. The first match of the afternoon is a compound women
bronze medal match.
Bronze medal, thank you very much.
Between Jessica Stratton from Great Britain and Yulia Alexeyeva from Russia. Just to brief you, there were 16 archers in this category, which makes it very convenient for the brackets. They all shot 72 arrows a few days ago to get a ranking score, and then they've had match play ever since. And Jessica came 5th with 653, and then was up against Julie Choupin of France, beat her by 1 point. Then she was against Sandra Reppe from Sweden, beat her by a few points, and then she was up against Maria-Andrea Virgilio from Italy and lost by 6 points there. So that's why in the semi-final she lost to Maria-Andrea, and so now she's in the bronze match, and Maria-Andrea goes into the gold match that follows this one. And Yulia came 3rd in the ranking round with 662, which is quite good on a windy day. She won a shoot-off with a 10 against Karina Granitzer from Germany. Then she beat Christiane Chimeta from Belgium. And then she was against her teammate Stepanida Artakinova in the semi-finals.
Jessica Stratton being one of the archers who had to get used to new category.
Yes, until after the World Championships last September she was in the W1 category, but with some slightly revised regulations to do with the amount of function that you have. She was then moved to the open compound, which in terms of archery it means she's now allowed the traditional, well, in compound terms, peep sight, scope, spirit level, and a higher poundage. In W1 you're only allowed to shoot up to 45 pounds. But she transitioned really quickly and is shooting extremely well. Although that end's not the best that she'd be happy with, but it is the first end of 5.
Yulia Alexeyeva with 2 arrows touching.
Yeah, brilliant shooting there from the Russians. The Russians have got quite a big strong team here, as always. And her teammate will be shooting for the gold match in a few moments. And I think with the support from the Italians and the Russians, that might be quite a noisy final.
That's true. I would say also Great Britain, Italy, Russia, maybe Turkey. They are competing not only with their bows in their hands, but also in the audience.
Which is nice. It's nice to get support. And on a hot day like this in direct sunshine, the spectators have got quite a hard job just surviving. Second end, Jess will shoot first because she's the trailing archer. Now 30 seconds to shoot each arrow.
Jessica Stratton has won many medals,
Yes.
many gold.
Yes.
But as you said, in the W1 category.
Yes, that's right. Yes, she won the gold medal at the Rio Paralympic Games. And individually she's done very well. Last year at the Para-World Championships she and I won the gold team medal. And that arrow's just touching the 10. Still good shooting from Russia. And an X. Fabulous.
Wow.
That X is probably only couple of centimetres across.
We have 58 for Yulia Alexeva and 55 for Jessica Breton.
The score is maybe about to change after correction. There was one cutting edge arrow.
Yes, the judges go up, and if it's a slight discrepancy, they'll get their magnifying glasses out just to check that the arrow is really touching the line.
You've been in the archery for some time.
Quite some time, indeed.
Has experienced something really... Oh, let me think about the word.
Nail biting?
Yeah.
Well, many years ago, in the Paralympic Games in Sydney, the final was three-person team. It was female recurve. The final was between Italy and Great Britain, and it all hung on a line-cutting arrow in the final end. It was either going to be a tie for a shoot-off, and they went backwards and forwards between both sides. Had a tie break, had a line-cutting arrow, and the judges went back and forth between it. It took at least 5 minutes until they signalled that Italy won, and that was quite nail-biting. But then 4 years later, the British team beat the Italians in the final that time. So, yeah, there have been a lot of times like that. Or else you have times where the timing system fails for some reason, and then did you shoot the arrow within the time signal or not, and then they have to make a decision. 10. Oh, Jess is getting there now.
Oh.
It looks easy on the television, but I assure you it's not that easy at all. These targets are 50 metres away, and the 10 is like, I'm not sure how to describe it, but not even 10 centimetres, but 8 centimetres I think it is. And you've got to have that degree of accuracy just to aim the bow, let alone have a technique that allows that to actually be useful.
Well, Yulia Alexeva still in the lead with this solid shot.
Yep, but it's still going to be a close match. There's only 2 points. 5 ends of 3 arrows. Cumulative score, maximum 150 points.
Yulia Alexeva still hasn't won any individual international competition, according to my database.
Yeah.
We now see her shooting.
Yeah, so this level they've all got good technique. They may be trained in very different ways, using different systems, but as long as you have consistency in your shot, that's really what counts.
What are the systems?
Whether you train collectively at a team training centre, or whether you train individually in different parts of the country, just come together for international events. Different countries have different systems. I don't really know what goes on in Russia. In Great Britain we have a training centre where we go every week, all year round, where we should be able to get the maximum amount of training we can do to improve our performance. And we got physiotherapy, strength and conditioning, gym work, that sort of thing. But some people can just have a natural technique and a natural flair and do relatively little practice and still put them all in the middle.
Always a 10. There's an elephant hanging around Jessica's neck. I can see it. I mean, the necklace.
Yes, there is. Actually, oh, good shooting from Jess. Nice group. Yes, I can't remember the story. She did tell me the other day about it, but it's no doubt it's some sort of good luck symbol. So although Julia's arrows are a bit more spaced out, they actually scored higher with 2 10s and 9. So it's good shooting by both ladies, and with 3-point difference in score with only 3 arrows left each. And it's beautiful conditions here. It's very hot outside on the cobbles of Pilsen town square. No wind to speak of whatsoever. Beautiful blue sky. Ideal for getting huge scores, theoretically. In practice, it's not so easy.
But there were people saying it is maybe too perfect the weather.
Yeah, sometimes you need. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. It sort of dulls the lighting a little bit so that it's not quite so harsh. And a little bit of breeze can give a slight movement to your bow just so that you can control it rather than forcefully having to hold it still. And it cools you down, of course. Okay, last 10 for Jess. Good strong shot there. 10 points. And on the screen you can see an extra mark, an extra circle inside the 10. That's what we call an X. Beware. Oh, Julia's just got one. And that's used for like count back. If you get an equal score, you count the number of X's and then the number of 10s, then the number of 9s. It scores the same as the 10. But I say if you have equal scores, then you do a count back. And Julia's putting her arm up to say go after her shot. That comes from habit forming doing team events. At team events you need to signal to the judge that you finished your shot, and she's automatically putting her arm up in the air, which is not necessarily for the individuals. And another 10 from Jess. Lovely. Good shot to finish, but Julia only needs a red, an 8. And she gets an X right in the middle. Excellent shooting.
Wow.
But Jessica won't be unhappy with that. So first European Championships as an open compound, and to come 4th place is excellent. And she's only 18, just passed her driving test.
There is some potential in it.
Oh, a lot of potential, yeah. A lot of potential. Always happy, always reading books. Maybe that's it, she wasn't reading a book on the finals film.
As you told me, it is not only in her spare time, it's while shooting.
Yep, while she's shooting she's always got a book on her lap. And this is like the first time this week that she hasn't had a book on her lap.
Yulia Alexeyeva got her first individual bronze medal here in Pilsen on European Para-Championship.
Excellent shooting. So the Russians will be going home with 2 medals in the Women's Open compound, because in the next match we have Stepanida Takinova and Maria Andrea Virgilio from Italy.
Well, there's nothing I can say about Maria Andrea Virgilio. I know only that she is quite young. She's 21.
Well, yes, well, actually just on the screen you had just there, it showed that she came 4th in the World Championships last year in the team and the individual. So yes, I've seen her for a few years now on the circuit, and the Italians always get going well together. They always have a good 3-person team, and because the 3 really good compound archers here, it was a battle for one of them to get through to the finals, and one of them did. And the Italians now congregating in the stands to provide a little bit of vocal support.
Welcome to athletes for gold medal in compound women open category.
Italy and Russia being quite a tradition to meet in the women compound finals.
Yes. Stepanida's been around for many years now, and always in the finals one way or another. Consistently good shooter.
Maria Andrea Virgilio. Very experienced Stepanida Takinova. Many times world champion. She's got bronze medal from the Paralympic Games in London.
And they're still both relatively young. Makes me feel ancient.
The world ranking speaks for itself. Stepanida,
Yes.
number 1.
Yes, excellent. And in fact, in the ranking round the other day, they both ranked 1 and 2. Maria Andrea scoring 674. In fact, they both scored 674, so that would have been on 10s and 9s countback. So here we go, first error. And right in the middle to start with. Fabulous. They have a warm-up range just a few meters away for them to get their sights set and get their equipment on spec before heading out here to the finals field. But it was about 20 minutes since their last shot.
What's the importance of your first arrow?
If you shoot it well, then you can tell whether you need to move your sight a little. It's really comforting to get one in the middle because it just gives you that sense of confidence. If you have a really bad shot, then you think, what are you going to do on your next arrow to correct it? If the weather's very different or the practice field's very different, you may have to adjust things to get used to it. So psychologically it's really good to have a good strong shot. And the more experienced archers will know whether it's their technique that's moved the arrow or whether it's the wind that's moved that arrow, so they know whether to just work on part of their form or actually just move the sight. That's where the experience should come into it.
The scores are tied.
And there on the screen is how they went through the rounds to end up in the final. Both scoring consistently highly.
we can expect some 140.
I would hope so. They would hope so. Because in this game of precision, and you'll see more of it when the men come, one slight error is very difficult to come back from. If you drop a couple of points, you can't make that up. It's only by your opponent doing the same thing. And you don't want the other guy to shoot badly, you both want to shoot well.
Archery archery as a hobby can be quite relaxing, isn't it?
It is. It's very relaxing. All around the world there are millions of archers who just go and do it sociably with longbow, bare bow, flat bow, recurve, compound. Just spend the evening just working on your own technique, having a bit of a laugh with your friends. Because all you're doing is improving your own technique. You can't do anything in this game. You can't do anything about your opponent. There's no tactics involved. Maybe a little psychology if you get your first arrows in well, but you can just do your best, and they can do their best, and the outcome is fair and even. And you appreciate people who shoot well. Wow, consistently good shot there from Stephanie. Yeah, slightly high right group. And Maria just moved her side a tad to compensate. Nice shooting from Stephanie there. 4 points difference, but only 2 ends gone. 3 more ends to go. Yeah, and in terms of shooting socially, the reason why people like it so much is because it's very relaxing. It's only physically strenuous if you have a bow that may be too powerful for you, and you learn and you train on really weak bows just to get the technique. And I say it's not really a team sport, but you can help each other. And so it's only when you're competing that you try and get a higher score than somebody else. The rest of the time you're just doing it for your own enjoyment, to like improve your own personal skills. And it's quite calming because you don't need that sort of high pulse rate, high adrenaline rush, all that sort of thing. You want to be calm and consistent. And for a lot of people, after a long day at work, it's just nice to go in the evening, shoot a few arrows down your local club, have a chat, and it's just a nice relaxing way to end the day. And you need to have that sort of personality in the first place. If you're somebody who's naturally kind of fast and aggressive, you just don't have the patience for it. And so it's sort of self-selecting in that sense. Most archers are fairly calm, relaxed kind of people. Because if you get angry with yourself, you just would give up the sport and go and do something else. Here we go, third end. Maria Andrea to start.
This is very accurate shooting.
Superb, yeah.
Awesome.
A little low, but she's quite relaxed about that. Not a 10. They just keep coming. .28, 26. So Stephanie increases her lead. 6 points.
28, 29, 28 for Stepanida.
Excellent.
That's good.
With a beautiful fountain behind her on the screen. There's this wonderful golden sculpture in the square, and the athletes come in through this sort of golden arc with a fountain coming in behind you. It's really quite dramatic in the sunshine.
There is a story behind them, actually.
Yes.
Do you know it?
No.
Because the city has an armband. If I'm correct, I'm not really sure. Do you know what armband is? Oh, it's not. I have to do some Googling.
But yes, there are several interesting sculptures around the square.
And those represent animals. This actually, the one that that the archers are going through is a camel.
Okay.
You can see
It does have two little rings on the top. Yeah. Okay. It's a bit of a long shot, but yeah, I'll believe it as a camel. Now I know I can see it. Fourth end. Lovely shot.
Wow.
She'll be really pleased with that. Just gives you the confidence that something's working. If you can just repeat it. And a 10 from Stepanida. What else?
for Maria it's really important now to not to do a mistake.
Yes. Another 10, just on the line, but that's all you need. Lovely scoring there from Italy. But there's no stopping Stepanida. She is unlikely to shoot a bad arrow, let's say. So
Okay.
Maria Andrea basically can just carry on shooting as well as she can.
What makes Stepanida so good?
I really don't know. I've not really spoken to her. I'm not sure her English language is very good. But I think she's got huge consistency. She's clearly totally focused on what she's doing. And her shot routine is obviously well bedded in. And she can just repeat it shot after shot after shot in all kinds of conditions. And as long as your routine is that little bit stronger, that little bit more focused than somebody else, just those little points build up during the day, and that's what gives you the edge. And you only have to win by a millimetre or so, but to win by a huge margin is really, that's what she can do on a good day. That's why she's been so consistent over the years.
Maria Andrea Virgilio starting the last turn. With the 9.
Another 10.
Stepanida always hitting the gold area of the turn.
Andrea's not giving up. Why would you? And with a huge margin, Stepanida can shoot the arrow virtually anywhere. And she puts it back in the goal where it belongs. 142, excellent score for her. Probably the best this week, I think.
So now it's
This is her top score from the qualification actually.
and the European title goes
Stepanida Takinová.
There you go. Now, at last, this big smile. Big smile.
She was awaiting her own name.
Yes, that's right.
and silver medal goes to Italy to
Mariandra Virgilio is silver this time.
Like I said before, getting a silver is not always that fun, but she shot well there. And certainly deserves it.
We are waiting another match for a bronze medal with the same category but men.
Yes.
Marcel Pavlik and John Stubbs.
Yes, these two guys are old rivals, not in the sense of age, but in terms of number of times they've been at events and shot together. They know each other very well. They can both spend all day long putting arrows in the 10. So this kind of event is very much a psychological battle. I know John Stubbs for well over 20 years and is just always consistent. Just as I say, can just spend all day long drilling holes in the middle of the target, even when it's not his own target. There are times when I look down my scope and I see, oh, that's a good shot, and actually no, he shot from about 4 boxes away and put one in the middle of mine just to wind me up. And they would both dearly love to go away with a medal here, so this should be a good match. Should be a good match.
Maybe a little bit surprising that Marcel is not in the gold medal game.
Maybe, but it's very, very tough in this category. The points margin between winning and losing is tiny.
Marcel Pavlik lost to Matteo Bonacina in semi-finals with only 1 point.
And I think there were 35 archers in this category, so they've had an extra match to get through to get here compared to the ladies. And he came first in the ranking round with a huge score of 681. And considering the win that afternoon, he's shot brilliantly to get that score. Because John was a little bit unhappy with his shooting. He shot over 700 several times, but he managed, where are we? 663, so it wasn't best pleased that day, but it was a bit breezy to say the least. And he's shooting fast. No, he's not. Marcel shooting fast. Excellent, well done. That'll keep him happy. First arrow in the middle, always a good sign.
Marcel Pavlik is from Košice, which is on the west side of Slovakia. John Stubbs is from Manchester, if I know.
Indeed, yes.
Both cities are renowned for quite a strong accent
Well,
in their countries.
he doesn't have a very strong accent, but he's certainly a man United support. He could talk to you all day about football. Fabulous. 29-28. That's really nice. Good start. And his agent with him on the line is our sports psychologist, Richard Collins, here to provide moral support. Technically there's not much John can do to improve his shooting, but it just needs to be in the correct mindset.
What's there to do in the finals if you're a coach?
Just chat to the archer. Some archers want to talk about archery, some want to talk about something completely different, like food or the weather or whatever. But it's just to keep you in a good frame of mind so that you're not worrying too much about what you're doing. Once you start worrying about what you've just shot, it might affect your next arrow. But each one should be a completely separate individual thing. Sometimes people want more technical advice on their form, but at this level your form is great, everybody knows that. They just want a little bit of comfort, reassurance. Only 1 point between them on the first end. Right in the middle.
Well, Martel is doing.
Yes.
Good man.
I wouldn't expect anything outside the gold. It's very few hours out of the 10 with these two guys. There you go. And they'd be shooting the maximum draw weight allowed, which is 60 pounds. Getting the maximum velocity out of these arrows, which gives them greater stability, especially in poor weather. I think they put that in a bit early. There you go. But it didn't put him off.
One could think this could bring in some distraction.
Exactly.
Not at all.
That's that. But he's strong enough, experienced enough to hold his bow at full draw for hours on end. Just waiting for, not waiting in terms of triggering the shot, but just letting it settle down calmly again afterwards. So, yeah. Yeah, John's been around a very, very long time. I remember him well. I remember in 1999 we had World Championships down in New Zealand, World Wheelchair Games in those days. But the compound bow first came in Beijing in Paralympic Games in 2008, and he won that against Rolly Simonelli, who's still here and still shooting strong. So these guys have been at the top of their game for a very, very long time. Nobody's really come along to push them off, which just shows how reliable they are.
If you look at the holes from John's arrows,
Very
wide.
consistent. Yeah, and internally he'll be analysing whether they're all up and down or from side to side, because then it might, if they're all up and down, he might think, well, maybe his pressure on the grip might be slightly variable. These minor details that these guys go into to get their equipment and their technique sorted out. Something rattling on John's bow.
Can you tell what's going on?
He could hear some sort of vibration and tightening up everything possible. A lovely X from
Marcel,
Marcel.
meanwhile, hitting an X.
Well, he heard a rattle on his bow. He's looking at it quizzically now. Just going to check the alignment. Because to put an arrow in the blue for him is just something so rare, it's not true. In fact, he's usually so consistent. I'll tell you funny. When we were in Rio for the Paralympic Games, he was in the silver medal match for the mixed team. Halfway through, he changed his bow. He put the one he was shooting down and picked up his other one. And the coach was just, what are you doing? And he said, oh, it's alright, they both work. So for the second half of the match, he shot his other bow. Because he was just so confident in them that he just thought, yeah, maybe I can get a little, an extra point out of shooting my other bow. So that immediately has given Marcel a lead.
We can't say what's going on, but
No.
we can say
The shot looked
it
fine.
cu-
It may have been something slightly loose, because there's quite a lot of vibration goes through the bows and has to be soaked up somewhere. And the sight is often somewhere that just gets a little bit rattled. But he's confident enough to use it without picking up his other one. Probably go straight in the middle. There you go.
Okay.
So keeping on the pressure now. With that unforced lead. John just needs to keep the pressure on. Marcel's unlikely to make a mistake. But anything can happen, and that's his first ace of the match, for instance.
Well,
So even with that, there's only a 3-point lead.
well, anything can happen now.
Exactly. One more end, 3 arrows each. And that's only a point difference every arrow, which is next to nothing.
But this one you are much better in the crowd. So who is here for the very quick?
Some might tease him and say that he's a bit of a dinosaur and his arrows fly like pterodactyls, but he would laugh that off.
Yeah, John still clutching.
Yeah. He'll just do what he can, and if he can put 310s in, then it really will put the pressure on Marcel to shoot perfect.
Can you feel the pressure?
Well, it's certainly quiet while they're shooting, but I think Marcel's probably would have to make a big mistake now.
Especially.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Long hold and 8.
Little low. Never mind. He'll just laugh that off.
He doesn't seem laughed. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He is.
Superb. Good win from Marcel with a good score of 142.
The key moment being something wrong with John's bow.
Probably
It's
something
nothing-
tiny.
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't technical fault, but his head was somewhere else.
I'm sure he'll let me know later on. But he's done well. After all, to get to the bronze matches means you've got through a lot of matches on the way against very capable opponents.
Bronze medal for Slovakia, for Marcel Pavlik.
Yeah. And Slovakia's got quite a small team here, and they've done very well.
Along with Poland and Czech Republic, Slovaks are the ones who are not professionals.
The locals.
The locals, yes, that's true.
And the next match is going to be great too, because we've got again the Russians and again the Italians.
The gold medal in compound men open category. Please welcome the actors. On target number 1, representing Italy.
For Italy, Matteo Bonacina.
Matteo Bonacina. On target number 2, representing
for Russia. Now got him.
But he's been shooting really well all week. I saw one of his matches earlier on. They just was stupendous, just the arrow just going right in the middle, not a care in the world. Matteo is one of the very good Italian compound archers. They've always produced over a bundle of them. And they always do well in the team rounds, mixed team rounds, everything. And this time it's his turn to be in the final.
The day before yesterday, Matteo eliminated Marcel Bobny in the semi-finals, and he was heavily supported by the whole of Italy.
And that was only a 1-point win, 1-4-3, 1-4-2.
It was a great duel, actually.
And yeah. And at the same time, Neil Gattin beat John Stavros 144 with the highest score of that round.
Great job.
He's also well trained in the team round, but his hand up after the end of that shot to signal he's finished shooting. Not necessary right now, but good training. Perfect score from Matteo. Wow. Only 2 9s, only just out of the 10. I mean,
but very close.
Any archer will be happy with that sort of group, but when it's only 1 or 2 millimeters out, it's the score that counts here.
Neil Gattin is doing Para-Archery for 3 years now. Still waiting for a major medal. Well, one is going to be today.
He's definitely going to get it today, no 2 ways about it. And he's smiling, happy, relaxed, chatting to his coach. He's just enjoying the whole event, I think.
Sorry, confirmed 31 for Matteo Valentina and 28 for
Russian archer to start now.
Maybe 2 points behind, but only about 3 millimeters.
That surprised me, the empty target of Matteo Valentina. Matteo is going for another perfect score.
That would be good. On the line
should be
the
the
top. Beautiful. Lovely scoring from Matteo there.
I'd say Matteo is on fire. He's in a form. And all his results across the competition, quite good.
Yes, he's shot very well actually. But you know, the Italians do have the strength in depth with their compound men, so you know, you have to be shooting really well to get through, to beat your teammates even. And his coach there is a very experienced archer himself. He's been working with the Paralympic archers for a long time now.
Good trainers. Quite valuable. Good. Good day.
Yeah, they certainly help. If there's nothing worse than working with somebody that you don't necessarily like on a personal basis, or you don't get along, or you wouldn't normally be together. But if you kind of gel with somebody and you would naturally be like friends, then it works wonders. You know, sometimes people have coaches who they wouldn't otherwise see for any other reason, and that isn't going to build a good relationship. And so it could be a bit like being at school where you're being told to do something rather than believing that you ought to be doing that right thing. So if you can build up that relationship, then you can progress a bit more easily. You still can, but it's more comfortable if you actually get on with the people that you're working with at all levels, whether it's whether you're beginners or elite. Wow. So still 2 points in it.
Both archers.
Very, very close. Very close.
Very close. Going a bit low. Those are not mistakes.
Just tiny fractions of a degree in your aiming, fractions of a minuscule movement of your hand when you release or push forward with your bow. Just makes the arrow a tiny degree off. It's just such a fine precision sport. The slow motion is nowhere near slow enough to capture the arrow movement.
What's the speed of an arrow?
They'll be going, let's say,
Quick.
well over 200 miles an hour, maybe 250 miles an hour. I don't know what that would be in kilometres now, but it's, fast. Archery has got this tradition of doing things in like imperial American units, mostly because a lot of them both. So it's like feet per second is what they worked out. So you then have to do a calculation, miles an hour, kilometres an hour, whatever. But yeah, they'll be going 250 miles an hour. These guys, they'll be leaving the boat, and they're heavy enough to carry that momentum over long distance. In other tournaments, these guys will be shooting at 90 metres. On a bigger target face, and they'll still be getting really tight groups. And so to cut through the wind, to cut through the distance, you want a fast bow. They're not necessarily as forgiving as a weaker bow, but for the further distance you want a fast bow. And look at that, Matteo's just popping them in the middle.
Awesome.
He's just laughing, smiling about it, just looking up the sky, thinking, oh, whatever. And Matteo does the same. So, but he looks a little bit more annoyed with this shot. But you know, both of them know they're just doing whatever they can, and if you get a little surprise, you get a little surprise. So although the Russian dropped a couple of points there, it didn't matter because Matteo ended up doing the same thing for no fault of his own, just a slight error.
But amazingly, it started as a very strong end and finished with two drops.
And is somebody cheering for Russia here?
Matteo Bonacina still 2 points ahead.
final end. And now, as we just seen, both of them can drop an 8 through no apparent obvious reason, and they know that, and they're trying to put it to one side in their brain to think, no, not this end, please. So now Gatun will start first again, as he's behind by a couple of points. She's got a very loose grip on the bow. You see he's hardly not holding it at all. The bow is literally just held into his hand. You don't want to grip the bow because you immediately put a little, what we call, torque into it in one direction or another.
Oh, it's getting more intense.
Very close now, only a point, 2 arrows each. And X. Nope, so 9, sorry, I was wrong order, goodness. You can hardly, yeah, they're level pegging with 1 arrow to go. So 10 will win, 9 for shoot off. Audience always like a shoot off. Well, they'll have to just check the score on that middle arrow, the 8.
What do you think?
Because if that's upgraded to a 9, then Mateo's won it. Otherwise, we have a shoot-off. So it's up to the line, up to the target judges, just to check with the magnifying glass, and they'll signal one way or another what the outcome is. All the archers can do is wait, looking at it closely, and she will give the indication. No, Mateo's won it. By the tiniest of margins. Matteo Bonacina from Italy takes the gold medal from the Para-Archery European Championships in Pilsen. And the Russian Gatun is quite happy with that. He's very pleased with this performance, I think. You don't get many matches as close as that. We'd love to have had a shoot-off, but that's all it takes.
A compound men open won by Italy by Matteo Bonacina.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. 1-4-2, 1-4-1. Good scores. They know they can shoot higher, but when you're in this sort of environment, this sort of pressure, that's good. And they both dropped an 8, and they both probably didn't expect to do that. So now they're moving the bosses back to 70 metres. They'll be putting a larger target face on, and in a little while we'll start to have the recurve final matches for the men and the women.
Of course, starting with women, bronze medal game between Elizabeth Arminio and Segul Yambur, Turkey and Italy.
Italians are there again, see, they're always in there somewhere. And some might think, well, why have you got recurve archers with weaker bows shooting a longer distance? But World Archery really wanted to have the compound discipline as something different to the recurves. Traditionally, we all shot at 70 metres, but by making the compound shoot only 50 metres meant they could hold events in more places, because you could easily fit 50 metres and 70 metres in a normal sports stadium. Compounds used to shoot at, well, men used to shoot at 90 metres, and then with the safety requirements about, like if you miss at 70 metres, you've got a much further distance for safety, so you can hold them in sports stadium more easily. And by removing the outer rings, the black and white rings, it means that 50 metres it's very much a precision sport. And as we just seen, it's not necessarily the number of arrows you put in the middle, it's when you make that little mistake, could lose it. you know. And in sort of the more professional world archery, people are putting in virtually perfect ends, and if you have just one little flinch and you get a 9, that's often enough to lose it. So they're turning it into a visually more precision sport, with, I guess, the ultimate aim of trying to persuade them to get them into the Olympic Games, because they already have them in some other games like Commonwealth Games and various other regional things, regional events like the Para-Pan or the Asian Games, but eventually they'll like them to be in the Olympic Games as well. But if they were just the same as the recurve, people might say, well, why? It's just another discipline, the same sport. You know, every sport's got something else they'd like to have included, so you need to make it different enough to make it good for the spectators.
Are there any complaints from the archers?
I think most people, well, you get used to it. I mean, you do what you do, and the competition's the same. But I think a lot of people get really bored, because for us 50 metres isn't very far. The arrow's almost landed before you've let go. You can't even, it's difficult to sometimes see if it's a slight wobble in flight. Whereas the 70 metres, the arrow's got a higher trajectory, gets more affected by the wind and the weather. A lot of people prefer the longer distance just because it's, I don't know, it's got something a bit psychologically nicer about it. This, for some people, is a bit like indoor shooting outdoors, because it's just there or not there.
But also in industry.
But you know, you do what you do, and that's what the sport is, and that's what the competition is.
Around the world, Pilsen is famous, especially for the engineering giant Skoda and the legendary.
So in times gone by, we used our ranking around. Used to be 4 distances, 3 dozen arrows up, and the men used to shoot 90, 70, 50 and 30 metres, and the women shot 70, 60. So a lot of archers would think that that's a better way of deciding the best archer, because you've got to have skills at all the distances, not just tune your equipment just for one specific discipline. But you know, you've got to have something universal around the world for people to do to have competitions. It's fair enough, that's what we do.
From Gothic architecture through the 20th century. Dominating the historic center of the town is the main square, Republic Square. Pilsen is proud of several architectural treasures, including the 16th century Renaissance Town Hall, the Gothic Cathedral, St. Bartholomew, with the highest church tower in the Czech Republic, the Baroque Plague Column, and the Franciscan Monastery. An exceptional place with an incredibly special atmosphere is the Great Synagogue, one of the largest in the world. Equally attractive are several cultural institutions. The Old Meat Market,
Here we go with the recurve Women Open Bronze Final with Yamgur Sengul for Turkey and Elisabetta Mino representing Italy. Yamgur Sengul is 24 years old. Not much to be found about her. Not much competition she was involved in. Elisabetta Mino being a world champion in the mixed team, and also European champion in individuals. 6 for a start. Not the best first error.
So there was only 1 point difference in their score, but we're now playing the set system. In recurve archery we go up to 6 points, and you get 2 points for a win for each set, 1 point each for a draw, and it's the first to 6. So when you see the brackets like this on the screen, you don't, without looking deeper, you don't know the actual score. It could just be a millimetre or so, it could be a lot of points between the scores. It's a different thing to the cumulative score in the compound. A lot of people prefer it. It gives you the chance to have one a little bit dodgy shot, let's say, because you might be able to come back in the next set. And very often you end up with shoot-offs. And it's quite nail-biting. So with only 1 point scoring difference, Elisabetta has got a lead. 2 set points.
Talking about shoot-offs, Elisabetta Mina had one in the semi-finals with Mervanur Eroglu.
Yes. Yeah, she lost to the Turk by a 7 to a 9 in 1 hour shooting. Wow, lovely. 10 points. Oh, beautiful shooting from Turkey there. In recurve, that's always difficult to beat, really. She's really pleased about that.
That's not bad.
No, Elisabetta's got a strong shot. She's been shooting for a long time and very successfully. She's won't be phased by these sort of conditions at all. Well, it looked like not a particularly good release there, but the small difference it made the arrow go really wild. Gives a chance for Elisabetta to take the set. Well, she shot a 6. So in fact she didn't, by only a point. Even with a rogue arrow, it's 2 set points each.
Elisabetta doesn't seem really satisfied with...
No, I mean her general, well, I don't know her very well, but her general demeanour when she's shooting is quite not satisfied, let's say. But as soon as the result's there, her facial expression will change. But, you know, she's very focused on what she's doing. And the young lady from Turkey is just enjoying it, I think. She's big grin on her face, chatting to her coach.
Yeah, she's smiling and she's having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. And that helps, and that helps you shoot better, I think.
She's got many red jersey in the audience cheering for her.
Turkey will be very noisy. In Italy, always noisy. Here we go, third set.
Seven.
There's a slight breeze from headwind from right to left at the moment. That may be moving the arrows a bit. Yeah, Turkish lady moves the sight a little bit.
Yeah,
to compensate. And Elizabeth gets a 9.
Elizabeth is a doctor.
Yes, apparently. Yes, you can be anyone to shoot archery. Just need the ability to have the time and patience to put in for training.
Younger left all her arrows in the same area.
Yes, even with a little movement of her sight there. It may be something else. So Elizabeth can take the set. And does. So although our Turkish lady got a beautiful group, it was just unfortunately low left. Nice shot there. Yeah. Coaches could say that something could be worked on with the release there, but as long as it's consistent, that's what you want. It's certainly warming up now, even here in the shade.
Is there a competing between recurves and compounds? I'm referring to the groups that prefer each bird.
Mostly I think people will start, well in Europe anyway, people will start shooting with a recurve to train, because that's probably the best way to train, to begin the sport, and then people will take compound often because they think they need less continuous training, because they're a more accurate machine, but the thing is, so is everybody else, so the competition is just as difficult. To be a good recurve archer, you need to put a lot of time and effort into every little aspect of your shot. Compound archers do as well, but the machine does it for you a lot more than the recurve bow. I only shot recurve when I first began because I had to use some sort of release aid. Personally, I think I would prefer to be able to do it, but I can't do it, so I don't.
there's much more tradition in Europe for recurve birds.
Yes. In some parts of the world, the main business is hunting bows, which are powerful compound bows to shoot short distances. So both ladies have got 2 8s each. If they draw, we'll have another end, and if Lisbetta gets at least one more point, she will have won the match. Good shot. So that means, yeah, Lisbetta will need to draw to go forward with 5-3 instead of 4. So, nice. Again, nice group. A little bit low. She moves her sight. So, 4 set points each. We now go into 5th set. And the winner of this set will get the bronze medal.
You personally have much experience. Aren't you planning to send them on?
To other people?
Yes.
Well, I guess in a way I do, without specifically doing any coaching or anything. And if anybody asks me, I'm quite happy to say what I think. But meanwhile, I know there's a huge amount I could do to improve my own shooting. I'm nowhere near. I'm not as good as I used to be a few years ago. And it'd be nice to get back to that level again. But, you know, I'm not... People keep reminding me that I'm not young, and I get, every year I get some sort of injury or whatever sort, so... We'll just see. Okay. Level pegging between these two ladies in the bronze medal match.
Very long hold.
Nice shot there. Nice shot. Lisbetta just settles down a bit. There's a slight breeze just come across the square. She probably just wants it to settle down. She's got 30 seconds per shot, so she can afford to wait. Lovely.
Wow.
10 points just before the whistle went, the buzzer went.
Wow.
So it's worth the wait.
Actually, the breeze is getting a little bit unpredictable. It's swirling around.
Yeah. It's probably more of an irritant than anything. So again, she takes her time. Lovely. And again, it was worth it. 2-point lead, 1 arrow left.
Sengo taking her probably last chance for a medal.
And an 8. So it's there for Lisbetta.
Again. She's going there.
Delves into her experience and yep.
Wow.
Wonderful. 10 points, and she's won it.
2 seconds before the buzzer, she released.
And she's now so happy. It's fabulous.
Incredible.
You can just see the relief now. Clearly a stressful match. And the Turkish opponent is just more than happy to be there. Absolutely smiling.
Great experience for the Turkish archer.
Fabulous.
And now Elisabetta Mino being the bronze medalist in the recurve Women Open competition. Oh, with quite an intensive finish.
And that's kind of the way it's been designed, by making the trailing archer shoot first. You can often end up with that. So the person who wins is the one who shoots last. And it puts the pressure on them, but also the elation. Rather, if you know you've already lost and you have to shoot the last arrow, that isn't a nice place to be. Because if you know that whatever you score, you're not going to win, that's not a very nice place to be. So by putting it that way, it's nicer for the spectators, and it puts that little bit more on the archer. So now we will have another majorly interesting match between another Turkish lady and Milena Olszewska, who's been shooting consistently well for many, many years.
The Turkish lady being Mervenur Eroglu. Probably forgive our pronunciation.
She's been shooting for a number of years now and been at many, many events.
For the Turkish archer, her nickname is Mervenur.
Mervenur.
Well, let's stick with
and
that.
World Archery statistics say that she's only 25. Goodness me. Long career ahead of her.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we have the golden match in recurve Women Open Division. Let's go on target number 1, representing Poland,
Milena Olszewska
Milena Olszewska.
for Poland.
On target
Waving to the
number 2,
crowd.
representing Turkey,
They're about to.
Mervenur Eroglu. Target match on Lead Brother. And on the line, Maria Latina.
And like we said a few minutes earlier, Merve beat Elisabetta Mino in the semi-finals by a shoot-off, shooting at 9 against a 10. Close match, so either of them could have been here. But anyway, she's shooting first.
The best record on the European Championship being the second place
Yeah.
in 2016.
Brilliant start from Milena.
An 8.
That's a rather quick shot. Turkish lady just brought out a 4th arrow, but no, you don't need that, I'm afraid. And Milena. Yep, brilliant first end. 10 and 8. She takes the first set pretty easily.
If this continues, the match will be over soon.
Yep, you only need 9 arrows to win a recurve match. Or to lose it.
Turkey quite strong in this category.
Yes, they've got a big team here. Clearly preparing themselves for the World Championships next year to get quota places for the Tokyo Paralympic Games. And at this rate, they're going to be doing well in getting the quota places. It's quite a complicated process. There's only a certain number of places you can get in each category, and mixed team is a way to get one man, one female, one male. But it's very difficult to get more than this. There's only a maximum number of people allowed anyway from each country. But it's quite. If you get a world champion, you could then get an extra place. But in each category, it's slightly different, and it's quite a complicated route to work out exactly what you get. Basically, you go to the World Championships or your regional event and do as well as you can.
That was quick.
Quick but effective.
But effective, efficient.
Yeah.
Milena going a little bit high. But concentrating fully on the next arrow.
Good shots there from Nervin.
Even were improved a lot.
It's close, only 1 point. 1 hour left to decide the set. Yeah.
I think it's 7.
So Milena could get this quite reasonably. Not well suited. Let's go. Well, the judges now have to look for a couple of Turkish line cutters. So Milena could be in the lead, but if the arrows on the line are upgraded, then it could be a draw. It could be that Turkish lady wins. With 2 arrows on the line, it could go either way. And I learned a lot of the volunteers working here today in their yellow t-shirts are actually from local archery clubs. So they're really enjoying the event. It's very rare that you get a major international event on your doorstep, and they're all taking part, fetching and carrying, getting arrows, changing faces, and it's part of the sport that they're involved in, and they're absolutely having a wonderful week here.
Judges correcting the scores for Mervenur. Therefore,
so 2 set points each. All to play for both of them. So the archer who started first starts first again when the scores are level.
her time.
Lovely shot, Taylor, lovely shot. Not such a good release there, but it went to the 9, so I don't think she minds too much there.
How does it come? The release is bad, but the result.
You forget. It's like, if it goes off, then you know what you've done wrong. But if it goes in, you say, "Oh well, never mind." Just, you take the good ones. Not quite happy on that shot, so she's got time to settle down, draw up again.
There wasn't much time left.
No. Well, her coach was counting her down. So Milena could take this set in just a few seconds. And she does. With a nice score there, 10 and 8. Lovely.
Mervenur is having... She keeps a doll on her bow.
Yes, yes. A lot of people have little sort of good luck charms of one sort or another. It might remind you of something, so when you're looking at the bow, thinking about, you might just take you away to another place in your mind to forget about what's going on around you. It might just be a gift from somebody that you want to have with you. The only downside of little good luck charms is when you don't have them, you've still got to carry on. Or you lose it, and then, yeah, that might not be a very good idea. So Milena 4-2 up in the final gold medal final. Lovely. See, some archers prefer to shoot with both eyes open. Milena prefers to cover her left eye, so that it's presumably to make it less distracting. That's a personal preference. Was a little bit low, I would say, and probably not a good thing at this stage of the competition.
This might have been the error.
Well, she'll reset, do that last shot. We'll chat with her coach just to settle things down. As we've seen before, anything can happen. For her rather quick shot, so Milena needs an 8 to win, 7 for a draw. And she gets it, there we go. good shot. And she's so pleased now. Big grin.
Milena Olszewska being the European champion. Campana Open.
Rico, but don't mind.
Sorry, yeah, that's it.
I'll let you off as a footballer.
And silver medal goes to Marinor Airborne, Blue Turkey.
Well, this is the first gold medal for Milena Olszewska
She's
on the European champion.
She's been scoring highly in so many events over so many years. So. And always a happy lady. She's going over to embraced by Richard over there. And just in synchrony, a helicopter comes over and more wedding cars come round.
I'm looking on the date of today, it's 18th of August. The people in Czech Republic, and I guess everywhere in the world, prefer to have some significant date for their wedding. So there are lots of 18s and 8s.
Okay, now I understand.
Maybe this is why we hear
Maybe.
a 5th or 6th wedding.
Oh,
coming
easily
up
today, yes, easily.
Happy day for many.
And it's a beautiful day for it, goodness me. So, where are we now? We're now with the men.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medal match. Selected by the archers from Recurve Men Open category.
Recurve Men Open bronze final. You can see Mike Szarszewski. A name that would rather fit to
On target number
Polish
1,
person, but
representing Germany.
Mike is fully German.
Mike Czerny.
Yes, he'll be very pleased to be
And
here.
on target number 2, representing France.
Maxime Guérin on the other side of France.
And on the line starting, Christina Petrou.
I don't want to say something wrong, but I think that Germany and France didn't have any appearance in the finals so far
No, they haven't, I don't think they
here in Pilsen. Maxime took the silver medal in the European Championship 2016.
in a very cold and windy Saint-Jean-de-Mont on the Atlantic coast, where the weather was pretty miserable, I tell you. Well, especially when you're a recurve archer, that's a brilliant way to start. Good response there, good response.
Well, we can see one standing archer, one wheelchaired. What's the main difference?
Well, Maxime's got a prosthetic left leg, whereas Mike's got, I don't know, details of disability, but he needs to sit in a wheelchair to shoot. But they've combined the categories together. We used to have standing and wheelchair archers, but for various reasons they were merged rather than having two separate events. So now it's called open category. the highest level, there's very little to differentiate between the scores that the guys can get, the ambulant and the wheelchair users, but at the more disabled side of it, then there's a little bit more of a problem for wheelchair archers with relatively poor balance, for instance. But at this level, it's, you know, your disability is not the issue. It's your skill of being the archer that counts.
You see the semi-finals. Czarszewski lost to Ireneusz Kopusta.
He'll be coming up later, yeah. Tall Polish man, very tall. And the Russians will be in a final again. And indeed, when we've had various reclassification changes over the years, some Russians have sort of left the system because of their particular conditions, let's say, immediately replaced by others. So there's clearly good depth out there.
Maxim opening the second set with a 7.
I think he was surprised about that as well. Good shooting. It looks a bit of a struggle to me. Eventually. Yeah. I think we would agree that he probably held that for longer than he wanted to. Just couldn't quite get the tip of the arrow through the clicker.
But the 6 did it.
Yes, that was enough. Right. Literally 1 point to win the set and be 2 sets up. And it's the first 6 set points. Maxim's got a good 20 years younger in age than his German opponent, so plenty of time left if he wants to carry on the sport.
Yeah, precisely. 23 years is the difference.
Yeah. Okay, third and potentially final set. The bronze medal match.
The age might be misleading because Maxim started doing archery in 2004, whereas Mike started in 2010.
Yes, age doesn't really have much to do with it, really. I keep saying that because I can. When I was last year, I was with a mixed team with Jess Stretton, and she wasn't very impressed when I said our average age was 37. When she was, really? Well, you know, didn't impress her at all.
Oh, that's 7, 8. Sorry.
Could be, but let's hope it's not the last hour from Maxime. Nice group, just low left, low right rather. So, this could be it. Yep, there he goes, there he goes.
Mike Tchaikovsky and Germany.
3 sets to 0, 6 points to them. Very quick match.
This was the first recurve match in the finals, ending after 3 sets.
Yes.
Mike Tchaikovsky did a perfect last shot. And of course, takes the bronze medal.
Yeah, he'll be very happy with that.
There is going to be only one match left for the gold medal.
Poland and Russia, neighbours.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the gold medalist for Reserve Man Open. Let's bring the athlete.
Here they go. Ireneusz Kapusta for Poland. And Boto Zidendorjev for Russia.
So Poland in the final match, gold medal match of both the men's and the women's open recurve.
On target number 1, representing Poland.
Ireneusz Kapusta found the F2.
Representing Russia.
And Boto Zidendorjev.
On target, Marin.
Boto is only 24 years old. Quite have some list of medals.
Yeah. It says in World Archery Info his hobbies are arm wrestling, so you wouldn't want to get too close on a rough night, would you? Lovely shot from Polish to start with.
Ireneusz Kapusta being the European champion in the team and the mixed team competition already.
Well, his arrows are very spread for a guy of his caliber.
This is more
I
tidy.
like it, yeah.
More tidy.
Much tighter. Straight away, 2-point lead in sets. Russian Archer has got his eyes closed, just breathing deeply, trying to refocus. Forget what's happened.
So can I hear some support for Poland? And what about Russia?
And there's the route to the final on the screen now. There were, I think, 27 archers in this category, so they've all done quite a fair number of matches to get there, to get where they are today.
Ireneusz Kapusta with a very tight game in the quarterfinals with Sergei Khutakov. It was quite an intense duel. And as Ireneusz told me, that was the hardest moment for him.
Both archers shot 8 points first arrow.
I'm especially looking forward for Bato and his improvement.
He looks a little bit disgruntled there, looking at the big screen, showing where the arrows went.
And now he's frowning.
Yeah, the archers don't have their own personal spotting scopes, they're just being told by their agents where the arrows land. But the big comment on TV screen shows them, but only for a moment. He doesn't look confident in his shooting at all now.
No.
Just changing his position on the line there. So, by 2 points. Ireneusz takes the second set, so he's leading by 4 set points to 0.
Much easier for me to pronounce.
Yeah, the pronunciation's always difficult for us Brits. You know.
So let's hear some cheering. It's the last race on this square for this championship. So who likes the
This is all or nothing for Bato. He needs to focus more, or maybe less.
Maybe less. And his Polish opponent is shooting well, but not so well that he's unbeatable. We've got to remember it's the gold medal final match, and all sorts of emotions come into play. Well, there you go. There you go. Just repeat, repeat, repeat. He's thinking. 9. There we go. You see, he's probably wishing he did that earlier, but it's never too late.
Maybe
So
another
to stay in this match, he really does need to put it in the gold. And he does.
You have to appreciate this.
Yep.
Because he was down,
yes,
and he
was.
got back.
And he knows it. And this set cannot be won. So, we go into a fourth set. And Russians are back in the game.
Rikev Open gold match. Para-Archery Kapusta from Poland leading 4-2 against Batocil Dorjev from Russia.
And who is supporting the Poland?
It's going to be Bateau opening.
Yeah, nerve-wracking for both archers now. See who can hold their calm. This is why the set system has its advantages, because if it's cumulative scoring, it could well be over by now. But with each set, just 3 arrows each, you can make a comeback. Oh, a little swear word came out there. Good thing I can't understand Russian. And, an X. Oh, wow, wonderful, wonderful. Brilliant shooting. Could be the last arrow for the Russian. Oh, 10. Wow. Shakes his head. But we could get a draw. Hope not. Yeah, fabulous. There he goes.
Wonderful.
6 set points to 2. 28. 2 points in the full set.
This was the third golden final for Poland, including the team competitions.
Yeah.
But the first time they won. Ireneusz Kapusta won the gold medal for Poland. We're gonna hear the Poland anthem afterwards in the victory ceremony.
And the team will be pleased because a relatively small team compared to some countries, and Para-Archery, they've done very successfully.
I have to say, it's been a lovely week.
It's been a great week, actually.
There are no other medals left.
No, that's the end
to
of
give
this,
away.
but all these guys will be back not far away in Holland in June, in somewhere called Sertingenbosch, I think is how it's pronounced, where our Para-Archery World Championships will be held, just in advance of the main, well I wouldn't say main, but the able-bodied World Archery Championships in the same venue. And it's only next June, not too long to wait. not very much time for all countries to decide on their selection, and that's when we all start getting quota places for the Tokyo Paralympic Games. So I'm sure we'll see most of these faces back there next year.
Well, good luck for you.
Thank you very much.
For everybody. Thank you for your attention. Enjoy the victory ceremony. Well, that's it from us.
That's it for now.
Ceremony, I'm just one reminder, right after the award ceremony and also closing ceremony, there is opening ceremony for another event. So we ask you not to go within the shooting range area. The opening ceremony for the next event will be 20 minutes long. So for those who want to take photos on the field, you have to remain after the opening ceremony is over. It will be very short one, but we ask you to remain in the stands, and then we will open the place for you in the photos.
Před námi první medailový ceremoniál dnešního odpoledne a to v kategorii ženy Open Toronto Youth.
Medals will be presented by member of Para-Archery Europe Executive Board and technical delegate of the competition.
A medaile bude předávat člen asociace World Archery Europe a také technický delegát tohoto šampionátu.
Dominic Allman. Trophies and flowers will be presented by President of Czech Archery Association.
A ceny a květiny předá prezident Českého lukostřeleckého svazu
Zdeněk Horáček. Bronze medal representing Russian Federation.
a bronzovou medaili bere Rusko.
Julia Alexeva. Silver medal representing Italy.
Stříbrná medaile pro Itálii.
Maria Andrea Virgilio. And a gold medal representing Russian Federation.
Zlatá medaile pro reprezentantu Ruské federace.
Stefanida Artakinová. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of a Russian Federation.
A poslechneme si jednu pro výbězku.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to our athletes.
A náš pokles patří k nejlepším kategorii žen. Divize kladkový luk. Gratulujeme a připravíme další medailový ceremoniál stejnou kategorii mužů. kategorie další ceremoniálu. Nejlepší muži v kategorii Open divize kladkový luk.
Medals will be presented by World Archery Europe Para-Archery.
A medaile bude předávat firma zodpovědná za paraukostřelce asociace WA.
FIFA Britain. Trophies and flowers will be presented by President of Czech Archery Association.
Ceny a květiny předá prezident České lukostřelecké asociace.
Zdeněk Horáček. Bronze medal representing Slovakia.
Třetí místo pro Slovensko.
Marcel Pavlík. Silver medal representing the Russian Federation.
Stříbrnou medaili bere reprezentant Ruské federace.
Neil Gatin. Gold medal representing Italy.
A vítězem této kategorie je reprezentant Itálie.
Matteo Bonaccina. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Italy.
A před námi je hymna na vrchu vítěze, hymna Itálie. Gratulujeme třem nejlepším v kategorii, kterou právě jsme vyhlásili na medailovém ceremoniálu. Zlatá medaile pro Itálii. Připravíme další medailový ceremoniál, třetí výstup.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the River Women Open.
Před námi je další medailový ceremoniál, tentokrát vyhlásíme nejlepší ženy v kategorii Open divize reflexní luk.
The medals will be presented by President of Organizing Committee,
A medaile bude předávat šéf organizačního výboru Evropského šampionátu.
Roman Suda. Trophies and flowers will be presented by Head of Sport Department for the City of Pilsen,
A ceny a květiny předá šéf odboru sportu magistrátu města Plzně.
Přemysl Schwarz. Bronze medal representing Italy,
A bronzová medaile putuje do Itálie.
Elisabetta Mignon. Silver medal representing Turkey,
A stříbrná medaile pro reprezentantku Turecka.
Merve Nur Eroglu. Gold medal representing Poland,
A zlatou medaili získává reprezentantka Polska.
Milena Olszewska. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Poland.
A hned nesmí hymna Polska na počest vítězství.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to our athletes.
A znovu gratulace nejlepším ženám v této kategorii a před námi poslední medailový ceremoniál tohoto mistrovství Evropy a následovat bude závěrečný ceremoniál celého šampionátu.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the Riedberg Men Open.
Dámy a pánové, poslední sada medailí z evropského šampionátu Para-Archery 2018 v Plzni. Kategorie muži Open, divize Reflexi Look.
Medals will be presented by Para-Archery Europe President
A medaile bude předávat prezident World Archery Europe
Mario Scarcella. Trophies and flowers will be presented by national athlete, Paralympic winner and successful cyclist.
a ceny a květiny bude předávat paralympijský vítěz a úspěšný cyklista, národní reprezentant
Jiří Ježek. Bronze medal representing Germany,
bronzová medaile pro Německo.
Mike Czarczewski. Silver medal representing Russian Federation,
A stříbrná medaile pro Ruskou federaci.
Bako Cidorciev. And gold medal representing Poland,
Zlatá medaile pro reprezentantka Polska.
Irene Kapusta. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Poland.
A na počest vítěze Polská 1.
applause to our athletes.
A máme za sebou poslední medailový ceremoniál Evropského šampionátu v paralelkostřelbě. A my teď bleskově připravíme vše pro závěrečný ceremoniál, který začne za malý okamžik. Prosím, zůstaňte ještě zde. Please stay here for a closing ceremony of European Para-Archery Championship 2018.
We just ask all the judges to join us to the closing ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you again here in the central square of Pilsen. It's time to now conclude this championship. It was held in the sports center in Slovan Skvrňany, and then there was this beautiful final range built on this final square, and it's prepared just for you. I want to thank all the archers to be here with us the whole week and for perfect support during this final. A big thanks belongs to the judges, to the results team, but mainly to all volunteers. So please, a big applause for the volunteers who made this happening. And also, nothing would be possible without our sponsors. So mainly the Ministry of School, Youth and Sport, to the City of Pilsen and the Pilsen region. And of course, Oppo Handicars, thank you so much and much more for organizing this event and for the financial support. Without you could not do this. Now I welcome Roman Suda, the president of a local organizing committee, for his speech.
Dear archers, team members, coaches, distinguished guests, my team, thank you, thank you very much that you came to Pilsen and you made this happen. It was a just unique experience for us, and we hope as organizers, that you have enjoyed Pilsen, our hospitality, and I hope I see you tonight in Pilsner Urquell Brewery for our farewell party, and personally thank you there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now please welcome Zdeněk Horáček, the president of Czech Archery Association, for his speech.
Byli jste báječní, byl jsem šťastný, že jsem s vámi mohl prožít tento krásný den.
You were great, and I'm so pleased to have the whole week here with you.
A budu se těšit na další setkání s vámi. Krásný den.
And I am looking forward to meeting you again in different competitions. Have a great day. Thank you so much. And now let me invite the president of World Archery Europe, Mario Scarcella, who will hand out the memorandum plaque to the hands of the president of Czech Archery Association.
Dear authorities, dear archers, dear officials, dear friends, good afternoon. On behalf of World Archery Europe and the World Archery Europe Executive Board, I wish to extend to all of you my warmest congratulations for the seriousness and for the excellent technical preparation that you have shown during this day of competition. I would like to thank the local organizing committee and the president of the local organizing committee, and the president of the Czech Republic Federation Association for the excellent hospitality and the very efficient organization. I also wish to express my happiness for having so many participants to the World Archery Europe Para Championship that demonstrated the very high level of para-archery in Europe. Let me express a special thanks to World Archery Europe Technical Delegate, my friend Dominic Olman. Also, to the sponsor and to the volunteers. Thank you. Thank you very much. And to the NCO team. Finally, thank to our judges, who certainly do not have an easy task in ensuring that all events run smoothly. Hoping to see all of you soon. I wish you a safe journey back home. I declare officially closed the 2018 World Archery Europe Para-Archery Championship in Pilsen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, honor the national anthem of the Czech Republic and World Archery Europe fanfare. So one more time, I want to thank everybody who was participating in the whole week in the tournament. Have a great day, and we hope to see you all in the Brewery Square, where there will be the closing party for this tournament. So thank you so much that you enjoyed the European Para-Archery Championship 2018, and I wish you a great day. And now, as it was promised, there's another ceremony coming out. So you can watch here another performance. So thank you very much, and that's everything from us from the archery side.